Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm going to go over the Death Note number 26 that they finally released in English earlier today. We're going to quickly go over the SSR Plus teammate, that is Kunagerro, and the XSR Plus Kunaden, because we already mentioned them in yesterday's video. We'll just double check the information that I provided was actually accurate, and then we're going to move on. So for SSR Plus Kunagerro, they confirmed that this guy is a mix between Hiwa and Albelda. In the video, we see that he has invincibility with the special move. So it's not only sort of a Bergamot effect, it's more like a Barry effect, which is pretty cool. He cannot use it on on himself, even with Revolution. So he only has the passive to rely on to survive. That is fine. And the Albilda part is because it provides attack and defense buff based off of his own attack and defense. So the same as Albelda, basically. But this guy is AoE, so he's likely going to be a must-have support, really, really strong. We will have to wait tomorrow to be certain, but definitely he's already looking pretty good. Then we have XSR Plus Kunaden. Again, I don't like the style, but we're not going to talk about that. And this guy has a buff to Impenetrable Domain that is going to give him a hit barrier and also restore energy every second. So having this domain up all the time is going to be important. Probably max cooldown reduction is going to be a very important part of this guy's kit. And also if you can add teammates that can decrease a little bit the cooldown reduction on the active skills, is definitely going to appreciate that. But I don't think it's going to be mandatory because of the next buff that is on the passive. And from what they say in this type of translation, it seems to be that every lightning strike, so also the one on the second hit that is dealing for the SSR Plus version 10% max HP, is also AoE on all enemies. But from the translation we saw yesterday, it only said the last hit of the attack chain, so only the 20% one would be AoE. Not sure which of the two translations to believe. We'll see tomorrow. But in either case, this guy is going to be pretty strong because this upgrade to the Impenetrable Domain is really good. And the one to the passive is also massive. I think is an improvement over the Revolution upgrades we have on the SSR Plus version. The only doubt is how much of a nerf the percentages on the special move and the passive are going to receive. I don't think are going to remain like 60% on the special move and 10% and 20% of the passive. I would expect a 50% on the special move, then probably I would say 7.5, 15% on the passive, maybe even 5% to 10%. We'll see, but I would expect them to actually decrease the percentages there, because otherwise this guy is too strong. Then we have the Autumn Festival event, with the main attraction being the Khun versus Ari family showdown. And this is an original story set in the Tower of God universe. I don't know how many of you guys will care about this part, but okay, let's skip it. Then we have an important thing about Ari Iniesta. They added him here in this event, but there is no release date for him. So we don't know if he's actually going to be the next unit, or if it's going to come in 1 month, or if it's going to come in 1 year. We have no idea. But it's definitely being worked on. They will definitely release him soon because there is already a model. So, I mean, I don't see why not releasing him. He's definitely a cool character. He's not that important in the story, but still quite cool. So I'm looking forward to his release. And then also some general screenshots, whatever. We have a new skin for Alfin. I also mentioned that in the last video. And this one can be obtained only if you buy the check-in pass. That's it. It's not a free skin. I don't know why they decided to go with a second skin for Alfin instead of releasing one for, I don't know, Aria or maybe other units. But it's okay. They make their own decisions and it's fine. Then what else do we have? A special check-in event that is going to run in parallel with the regular one. And after 7 days, we're going to get an SSR Plus selection chest that is going to include also future teammates. So the standard SSR Plus selection chest. Pretty cool. And then there is also a festival that will also give us, from what it seems, a free copy of Kunagerro SSR Plus. So that's pretty cool. You won't really do much, I think, from it. Zero Dupes Kunagerro, I think, is like Iwa in the sense you want him Rainbow 5 is not going to do much. But again, we'll see tomorrow. And you also have an SSR Plus Soulstone. So it should be the random SSR Plus unit. And you also get the costume for Kiseiya if you don't already have that. Otherwise, you will get some additional rewards, probably black market tickets, I think, and some other, like a background and an additional event. Okay. Starting from October 3rd, there is going to be a new event called Moon Dinner, and you will have to collect ingredient and do stuff. Okay, we'll see how this one is. I don't have high expectations. They're usually pretty boring, but we'll see. Also, new costume for Rin, doesn't matter. And there is going to be a new banner that is going to have a different selection of units. We don't know if it's going to be all of them up to Sharon, or if they just wanted to mention that Sharon is part of it, but maybe they select only units from the Zahard faction, or I don't know. We'll see. No idea. But if the rates are good, it could be a good time to also do some summons here. I don't think many people will be able to because we have Kunagerro and we have Gust and Rerun, so this banner is probably not going to be useful that much. I don't think many people will summon on it. They also prepared a family race event where only Alliance teammates. I think this is a mistranslation from our great translation team that we have here. I think this is just family, like teammates of a certain family. I don't know why they translated it in Alliance. We'll see, but okay. Then the Fleet Battle and the Guardian Road, we already mentioned that. Teammates rerun, we already mentioned the rerun for Gustang that is going to happen on the next update. And we also have confirmed the rerun for Kunagerro, the Ice Spear Kunagerro, and that is going to happen on October 13. That's all about this stuff. There's going to be the rerun also for Urek and Tramray. They don't have any dates yet, but they're going to come likely in October at this point, or November, we'll see. Then here, there is some feedback on suggestions that were submitted by us. And the first part is some reflection on teammates and growth elements. People requested for a more balanced arena. I don't know, guys, but I think arena in this game is a content that you shouldn't even consider that much. If you are a whale and are spending, then yes. If you are not, then I really wouldn't care about it. The rewards are not worth it. So that's kind of the approach I always take with this kind of content. I don't care about a more balanced one because they always have to make sure that the whales have a content they can enjoy somehow. So you cannot expect to compete with them, and that will likely never happen. But okay. And what else they mention? That it could be due to some teammates being too strong in 1v1, whatever. I don't know. They did some changes to the Colosseum Arena. Now you cannot even pick who you're fighting, it's just random. I cannot say I like that, but I think now with the addition of the schematics in the Colosseum Arena, at the very least for me, I will try to do the attempts to get a higher score, but who knows. And I will also try to improve the High Ranker Arena and the Champion Fight League. No idea what they plan to do. Like they said, limiting units deployment and adjusting the total number of rounds and using a ban and buff system. I don't know. I'm not that looking forward to that, because if they do ban system, then I have to rearrange my high ranker arena teams, and I don't want to do that. We'll see, but I don't know. Again, I don't care about PvP that much. And they will continue to introduce PvE modes like Guardian Road and Races, where regulars can fully utilize everything they own. Yeah, sure. More like forcing us to use certain units. I don't know, but not that big of a fan of like limiting the colors. I guess we are forced to use units we wouldn't normally use, but I don't know. I think they could do it a bit better somehow. But okay, regardless, we can move on to the next point, which is request an explanation regarding specific arena victory or defeat. Again, it's arena. I don't really want to go into this, but what happened a lot of times is that usually when you time out, the attacker loses. Now, in these kind of automatic fights like high rank arena and others, it was not really clear why it picked a winner over a loser for some reason or the other when there was a timeout or something like that. I think that what is this question is about. Again, I don't really care, so we can skip through it. I know some people like PvP content, but personally, I cannot be bothered with it. I just don't like it. I think it should like I consider it like it doesn't even exist from my point of view. So let's move on to the next one. Regarding the world ranking content, I don't even know if I checked it, to be honest. I probably should to see what that is about because I have no idea. They'd like to thank everyone for their interest in the new system that I didn't even pay attention to. And they're planning to add Revolution Road to the world ranking. And what else? I literally have no idea what these world rankings are all about. I will double check it and maybe make a video about it if it makes sense. We'll see. Then people complained probably about the sources of the floating ship because at the moment we don't really have a lot of them. And they will add, at the very least, a rare ship to the monthly mission, from what I read somewhere. And also, they are aware that people might be scared that after the events that are like up right now, that are giving us some ships, that we're going to have a lack of ships in the future. So they said they're planning to add more sources of it, and that's more or less it. Okay, that's where I. So the monthly award to give a rare schematic. Okay. And also a steady supply through the Colosseum arena. Hopefully it's enough. Hopefully people can get the right ships. I'm looking forward to them releasing more ships already because the ones we currently have are not really all that. It's mostly for bossing, I would say, and maybe PvP, but that's it. So, okay. Then also people ask for an ignition weapon preset per content. Could make sense if you have a bossing setup for certain units, but at the same time, it's maybe a bit too much to implement just for that. You can just have an additional preset and swap to it when you're doing bossing. Because other than bossing, I don't really see a lot of scenarios where you would want to have a preset. So, fine. Also, they could just increase the number of presets because 80 is fucking low. They should just make it 200 or just remove the limit. I don't know. Hopefully, they do it. But okay. What they're going to create a preset function for is the True Essence facility. There should be also more information on that down the line. We'll see. But yeah, so they're not planning on doing a preset for ignition weapon based on content. Then regarding bug and issues, lots of people complaining about crashes, lag, and instability. Okay, so they're trying to address it. And also making this kind of whatever different visual that is instead of the Kunagerro one in the middle. Okay, fine. And okay, they fixed some issues about some crashes and freezes in some situation. Okay, we can move on to the next part, which is improvement. They agreed that equipping a floating ship was difficult. I also found it annoying because when if I assigned a ship to a team, then I went to the next one, I wanted to move that ship to to this new team because maybe I was like, okay, yeah, I would rather use it in this one. Then you would have to go back to the other team, unequip it, and then go back to the new team and equip the new one. There is no switch system, there is no override, nothing. So it was a bit annoying from my point of view. So yeah, they are planning improvements in general to how you equip ships and stuff. Okay, that's cool. And the next update is not going to be in 2 weeks because of the holidays in South Korea. So they're going to do it on Monday, October 13. So Okay, just to be aware of that. Then there is going to be a Triessence Facility preset feature that is going to be released on October 13. And this will let you actually create additional presets if you want to have some for different types of content. So let's see what they wrote here because it might be interesting and I don't want to miss out on anything here. Our regulars have adjusted their presence to deal with specific demands from certain content, adapt to new meta, or improve specific characters. Changing a once set function requires significant effort, yes, and sometimes the changes don't really yield the desired results. To address this, we are preparing a feature that allows players to keep their current setup while creating new presets for different purposes. The main focus is to allow players to apply their desired essence setups to each content type. So this could be a really cool addition, or it could be complete garbage. Potentially, you have to waste a lot of crystals, so I hope you guys have a lot to spare because this feature ends up being pretty valuable. I don't really think so. For the most part, I think what you can run is going to be kind of fixed based on your archive, based on what you prefer to do. So for most people, this is probably not a system that you can leverage. If you are a whale and your archive is crazy, then probably yes, you can have multiple setups based on the content. But for the majority of the player base, I think this is not really a feature that will be of much interest and that will have a lot of impact. So you can use the preset feature once all three essence types reach Awakening Tier 3. So once you have 3 pages on every single one, okay. And to add a preset requires a certain amount of currency, and new strength, dexterity, and intelligence essence sets will be activated. Okay. You can add the essence setup to each content through the Triessence Facility menu or through the battle preparation screen. So this screen here should be type of content, and then you select one of the different setups that you have, which is potentially cool. Again, it is a decent feature if it makes sense for your account to have multiple setups. If your archive is low, I don't think this matters, but we'll see. We'll go through that in more detail once it's live. And once, like by default, the current one is applied everywhere, and we'll see exactly what's going to happen. I really don't know, because this could also allow you to have a screenshot of your current setup and then make changes, and in case you can go back to the previous one, unless you cannot really destroy a setup. Also, the fact that I see here now that it seems like you have, like, it's not a duplicate of your existing setup. It's a brand new you have to roll, for what it seems, because this one has a name that is also the one here at the top. This is the second one, and it is with everything locked. Okay, so yeah, it's not a screenshot. Basically, you create a brand new one. It's gonna be crazy expensive, guys. I don't think most of the player base will leverage that. They're also adding a third team in trial area. That is crazy. That is completely stupid. I mean, for yellow is not a problem. For purple is not a problem. For red it is a problem because they like to spam Urek. If they removed Urek, then it wouldn't be a problem for red. For green, it is impossible. For blue, it's okay. So I would say red and green are the only ones that will have an issue with this. The other ones, if you have enough units, it is fine. But nah, I mean, I think they took it the wrong way because we asked for more opportunity to use teammates. I was hoping for a 6th team in adventure. That would be fine because we have enough to make 6 teams now, especially at these high floors. But a 3rd team in trial, it's gonna suck. A lot of people are gonna struggle with that. So good luck, guys. I don't look forward to that. It's gonna suck. Also, they will add a feature so that the units you select here in the uh, background, you can rotate between them randomly. Fine. We can skip that. And then we have a new character from the Urek Mazino spin-off. is going to join us on October 13, and they said the first appearance is episode 1. Now, in episode 1, there are not really a lot of characters. There is Hedon, but that guy's not going to be added as a playable character, I would say. Then we have Lopobia Evelyn. So I think 95% certainty that's going to be the unit. We have Princess, we have Urek, we have the stupid red hair guy that ends up in Urek team. That is kind of weak, and I hope he's not the guy. Then we have the guy with the white shirt and the cross on top. I don't even recall his name. That is with Lopobia Evelyn. Is Evelyn the right name? I think so. But okay. So I also don't think that guy is going to be the one. Since they like to release waifus characters, I think 95% it's going to be Lopobia Evelyn. There is also the ranker. I don't remember his name. Is the teacher for the fisherman course. There is that ranker that could be added. I still don't see it. I think it's going to be Lopobia Evelyn. We'll see. It would also make sense if they want to do some family-based content. At the very least, they have an additional Lopobia as well. So that's it, I would say, for the dev notes. There is nothing else. There's also going to be a developer live between October and November. Okay. They might also announce a collab in that live. I don't know. I would expect a collab to happen around November. Not sure. It's just because last year we had one. But you never know what they decide to do. So yeah, that's all I would say, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. And I will see you guys in the next video and also in the live stream for this update. Bye.